Okay, so before we start, in this video I won't include tropes that are obviously connected, like the lava hound and lava puffs, meaning a mother and children, or a father and children, or Yeti mates being the adopted kids or pets of Yeti. Yes, in some cases I also include pets. So let's start with the royal family tree. But to fully understand the royal family tree, we need to go back in time to when the ruler of the Clash lands was the old king, who had 3 children. The oldest one was traditional and preferred to use the same methods as his father. The middle one was a genius inventor who liked to deal with problems with calculated tactics and powerful inventions, rather than with brute force. The youngest one was the most rebellious out of the 3 and preferred to do everything in her own way. Before the old king died, he chose his oldest son to inherit the crown and gave his 2 other children lands, castles and gold. Everyone was happy, but when the new king died, he split his kingdom between his 2 sons. They start to fight on the arenas with their own decks, so one of them could be chosen as the next king by the people. Okay, the last part was just my theory. A game theory. Okay, I'm sorry. The Red Princess and the Little Prince are children of the Red King, and Blue Princess is a daughter of Blue King. Also, there's one mistake. There should be one more princess on one of the sides, because these 2 princesses are on the towers, but there is also a princess as a troop in the game. And of course we have the Cannoneer and the Dagger Duchess, who are the cousins of the kings. Also, if my theory is true, the colors around the Rhodians show which king they support in the battle and manage to gain some gold and power from themselves. Okay, but enough of that. Pekka and Mini Pekka are confirmed to be a mother and a son. Of course, Pekka couldn't give birth to Mini Pekka, but she adopts him as her child and cooks him pancakes. But besides Mini Pekka, Mommy Pekka also has Lassie as her pet. One loading screen tip in Clash Royale says that Battle Healer's oldest sister can heal entire villages. And of course that refers to our favorite healing troop, the Druid. Unfortunately, we don't know anything more about their family, so let's move on to another magical sisters. The Night Witch and the Witch are sisters, which is mentioned in the multiple occasions. And we even know that Night Witch is the older one, and the regular witch is younger. But something which was, I think, only mentioned once, is that their mother is the Mother Witch. Next are 2 cards that are not confirmed anywhere to be related, but their resemble is too big to be a coincidence. And of course I'm talking about the Rune Giant and the Berserker. So first, they both wear almost the same clothes. They are both ginger. They both have the same background, and they are the only 2 cards in the entire game which can affect on each other's attack animation. But there are also 2 theories about who else might be related to them. One says that the Giant is the father of the Berserker and husband of the Rune Giant. It will mean that Berserker is a giant like her parents. The second theory claims that the Valkyrie is the second daughter of the Rune Giant and the older sister of the Berserker. Or maybe both of these theories are true and there are just one big happy family. Another big happy family is the family of dragons. From Electro Dragon's card description, we know that he's the middle child between Inferno and Baby Dragon. He's also the child of Electro Dragon from Clash of Clans. Plus, we know that Baby and Inferno Dragons are children of the regular dragon, so that must mean that their parents are the dragon and the Electro Dragon. But I have no idea who is the mom or the dad. I only know that the Baby Dragon is the youngest one out of the 3 little dragons. In one of the Clash-Orama comics panel, there's a little story where 2 barbarians make fun of Hog Rider for having cousin who can ride any hog, and a moment later it's revealed that this mysterious cousin of Hog Rider is none other than a Ram Rider. Next one is really huge family. Wizard is responsible for creating every elixir and dark elixir spell in Clash of Clans laboratory. He also accidentally created the Void spell, along with Ice and Electro Wizard. The last wizard is the Electro Wizard, who invented Evil Zap and Tesla, and also keeps the Electro Dragon as adorable pet. Next we got the Barbarian, who is a cousin of the Knight, who is handsome and more cultured. But something which is not confirmed anywhere is a possible connection between the Barbarian and the Lumberjack. The evidence that suggests their kinship is first. All 3 of these characters are voiced by the same person, John Mondelli. Secondly, the Lumberjack looks very similar to the Barbarian, especially if the Barbarian is raged. Then these 2 looks like brothers. However, there is no official confirmation that they are related. Also, the Lumberjack accidentally created a different card, when a piece of log fell into a spilled Battle of Rage, and that's how the log was born. Okay, I also wanted to include some characters from outside the game. And who is a better example of such character than our beloved Larry? Larry's mom is the witch, from 2 different Clash of Clans animations. His father is some giant skeleton, but he is not Larry's biological father, because of, but he protects and care about Larry as much as he can. However, he's not the father for the rest of the skeletons, at least we don't know anything about it. Larry has many brothers and sisters. The most known one is his older brother, Peter, from the animation Lost and Crowned. In the same animation there is 3 more of their siblings, but we know that they have for sure many more than that. And something I need to clarify, characters and troops are not the same thing. Troops such as archers, barbarians and hog riders have defined traits, and most of them are very similar to each other because of that. But some, like Frank for example, are very different from the rest. They still share the same traits, but do different things and live different. So not every giant skeleton is a father figure to every skeleton, not every witch is a mother to her own Larry, and not every little skeleton is the Larry. Next, as mentioned a moment ago, Frank and his family. Most of you probably know him only from this event, but his first appearance was 12 years ago, in the very first Clash-Arama short episode, where he ate leg of his hog. Because of that, he can't be Hog Rider, so instead he opened his own bar inside the town hall. Meanwhile, he married his beautiful wife, and no, she's not a Ram Rider. And they have 3 children who help them in the bar. In the episode Ballad of the Barbarian, Frank teaches his son how to ride a hog, and at the end of the episode, he buys him very own hog. With the latest update, Goblin Queen returns to the game. But she's not only the queen to every goblin in Clash universe, but she is also a mother to most of them. She is definitely the mother to every baby goblin in the game, as well as for some of the regular ones. For sure not to all of them, at least probably not. Oh, and also on 99%, their father is the Goblin King. I remember seeing some posts about it, but I can't find it anywhere. But maybe someone else remembered this and can write it down below in the comments. And finally, at the end, we have the most underrated and disregarded trope of them all. He created dozens of other beloved characters. It is of course the Builder. Maybe I have changed a few details here and there, but the context is the same. He created every single resource building, trap and defensive structure. However, Master Builder is responsible for most of the machines in the Clash universe, like Battle Machine, Battlecopter, Flying Machine, and many, many more. And if we follow the same logic, it will mean that the Grand Builder is responsible for most, if not all, of the buildings and machines in the clan capital. And okay, it will be everything for today. If you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like, check out my other videos, and you can be the first person to hype out my video.